Which country produces the worst tourists? China. They have no concept of personal space.
China.
China just for general rudeness. Russia for being absolute violent, stunted oafs. As an American, God, I'm so thankful other countries are getting dragged for something. Finally. Lol. I worked as a tour guide in Portugal for some years, so this is my take. Chinese. I never had to work with them, but every bus driver would say they were the absolute worst. They treated everything as their trash can. Always very rude with the drivers and treating them like slaves. Forcing them to skip lunch in order to attend to their needs. At the end of the circuit, they would give no tip at all and not even a thank you. The worst. Brazilians, who come here a lot for obvious reasons, are the worst in terms of timekeeping. Always late, constantly getting out of the group to get into shops, showing a constant disregard to the schedule. Besides this, super nice people, very warm and friendly. French. Parisians usually obnoxious. They would complain about anything. The food, the hotel, being in a queue, having to speak in English at the restaurants or whatnot. Two countries share the #1 spot, Russia and China. I've read somewhere that the reason Chinese and Russians behave so badly is because the one you see abroad are the ones who recently got rich enough to afford to travel. So they have that new money mentality. They believe they can do whatever they want because they can pay. I heard someone working for an airline said they hate dealing with the French. They complain and ask for compensation a lot. I work in tourism in South America and all our worst experiences have been with French people. Very demanding and rude. Complaints about everything. And they refuse to respect local tipping culture. As a Russian myself, I'd say the Russian tourists are awful. When I was choosing the country for my vacation a few years back, I chose Bali as my destination. My main reason was, the less Russian people the better. The long story short, I got bored in Bali and fly to Thai. The minute I arrived to Pattaya, I see a drunk Russian guy yelling and screaming in the middle of a busy road. Then I was in a hotel. The group of Russian tourists was sitting on a balcony the whole day just drinking and eating. I left in the morning at 7 or 8. They were already drinking there. When I returned at night, they were still there drinking. I still remember this guy and it still gives me the second-hand embarrassment. Russia. No matter what is happening right now. 10 years ago when I worked at Hotel I Spain, not a single group of Russians was well behaved. China. If you're watching a nice sunset, some Chinese with a camera will go stand right in front of an inch of your eyes. Definitely Russians. They have no manners, they are loud, etc. Russia. Russian guys are really rude. Woman facepalming. Light skin tone. Khaliji tourists visit Egypt. They act like barber. WZ money. Zipper mouth face. Zipper mouth face. Egyptian here. Britain is up there. I've had the misfortune of encountering the lads on tour phenomenon a few times.
China.
I worked at the airport before, so I have to agree with those that say China. But I have talked to a few of the more courteous ones and they usually tell me the rowdy, inconsiderate, loud ones are usually from the rural areas on like huge group tours. Not sure what that says about them, but yeah. Not all of the worst tourists are from China, but if there's a bad one, it's usually from China. China. Enter the confused, waddling, consuming horde. Russians. If you'd manage to dodge the long arm of the law for the extent of your holiday, chances are the second one of these strafes across your peripheral vision you'll end up on a Extradition flight back to Moscow with a bag over your head. For no reason other than you were conveniently there. Australians. It never fails. I just wanted one quiet night in at the hostel. The some asshat Oz named Ryan offers me a shot that turns into a line that shapeshifts into a Colombian stripper that morphs into her pimp beating me in the face and Ryan laughing. To me waking concussed and Ryan stark naked in the top bunk. Hand around his privates. Smelling like stale lube and vanilla body splash. Making me wonder, was it all a dream? China, rude and pretty much racist. Not a country, but for sure the rudest people I ever met were Hasidic Jews in the Alps. Not sure why this group of people choose this general destination. Please enlighten if you know. Yeah, I know I'm gonna be blasted for this. But I even have a German wife who was offended by their behavior. And Germans basically never criticize Jews. It's almost a crime. Anyway, bring oing the down votes because opinion is verboten.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.